Hello, hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever and whenever you are. We're bringing you some Link to the Past Randomizer Invitational League playoffs. It's been a little while since we've had the Invitational League action, but here we are. We've got Shady Force representing the Spoilers, McMonkey representing Go, in a rematch of week one of the league. These two teams faced off in the co-op All Dungeons, where the Spoilers swept that week 2-0, but we didn't see this particular match. So calling this match today, I'm Reg. I'm joined by Star. So Star, casual boots. What are we doing?
Hello there, we've got ourselves casual boots, which means it is a standard start with sword and boots. Pretty nice mode, a whole lot nicer than what I've been commentating in the in Open League playoffs. Krowski's inverted, swordless. It's been an interesting time, so let's see if this one's a little nicer to start things off.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the quote-unquote nicer modes, especially since you can kind of get into some interesting mishmashes just with the way the league playoffs work. But for now, none of those are this. We're going to take our boots and sword, just going to run through the castle, then start checking the locations.
Pretty much. We've looking at the record, so the spoilers. So this is, as mentioned, the rematch from the Skull Woods division. The Spoilers were first in that division and first in the Dark World Conference with a record of 12-2. Go squeaked in fourth place in this division with a record of 7-7. So let's see how this goes. The moon is crashing. Here for your life. Yep, thanks, Uncle. $50 is not a bad finder, Leon.
Nope, cash is one of those things, can't ever have too much of it. And fun little quirk of boot starts, or I guess really kind of sword starts more so than anything. In casual mode, you have the sword, you just don't actually see it until you pick up the uncle item. So they're just kind of dashing through bushes with nothing there, not bonking.
Yep.
Hitting some
Hey,
bombs.
bombs is really nice on the Uncle. This way we don't have to worry about the bag of escape.
Though we didn't have to worry about that anyways, because Boots
That is
bombs work
true,
for that
since we
wall.
do have the boots. I forget that one's bombable, so you get the red meringue. Still nice to have, though, especially for CAC and even less about work money concerns. And yes, these sprites are pretty fun. We've got ourselves a mouse pointer on the left and Guy Fieri on the right.
Yep, very nice sprites. The mouse cursor sprite pretty famous for screwing with a lot of viewers. The runners that use it seem to do pretty well with it overall, though. Get used to it quickly.
Yeah, I think the big thing with the mouse cursor sprite, and with any sprite really, is to get used to the proportions of that specific sprite, since different sprites have different pixels and messes with various pixel reliant setups as you get the small key.
Yeah, with the
And
mouse
it's
cursor
definitely a
sprite in
bit.
particular. Sorry, go on.
That particular sprite's a little bit harder though, because there's less at the top, so to speak. I suppose it's quite tall, but not very wide, especially at the point.
Yeah, but the one thing that it does have is a very visible shadow. And you can use that for a ton of setups, because that is really sprite independent there.
Yeah. Yeah, since it's a little bit hovering, the shadow's fairly visible. Nothing else, and nothing in that chest there. We're gonna head for Zelda's cell.
Yeah, it's nothing of note so far. I guess the red boomerang is a Y item, bombs also, but ultimately a standard start like this, the biggest deal is you're not going to put these locations off until the hour mark like you're prone to do in open mode. You're just going to get them out of the way.
And just a heart piece in Zelda's cell. We're missing the map, I believe, and four items, since you also saw the small key.
Yep, 4 items including the sanctuary check. Still missing the map though, could be Dark Cross, Sank, or in the back of the sewers.
We'll have to find out. Genie4 is just a spot ahead of McMonkey here as they head back out.
Yep.
Nothing super interesting about the escape, just it's standard, as For the mode, you're going through the front and the back of Escape as you would in the vanilla game. Not particularly new.
Nah, but dashing across those little narrow pathways up at the top in that dungeon room, that's something you don't get to do in vanilla without the boots. And it is faster
Yeah,
to dash those pathways.
it is nice to have. And as they head for the back, let's give these runners a follow here, Shady Force and McMonkey. Also, shoutouts to my co-comrade and our tracker, Lady Laura Linda.
Yep. Trackers keep everything lit up. Let us focus on talking. And we'll see a lot of that, especially when we get, presumably, to Kakariko and the items actually start flowing this seed.
Yeah, Escape, 6 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, closer to 5 really with boots. 5 to 6 minutes of just running through the place with not a lot of checks. Don't die, Shady Force, please.
Yeah, he's fine. Nothing in here does a full heart of damage on hit, and he's still got a full heart, so he can take at least one hit. Probably two or three, because I think the rats only do quarter heart damage.
Yeah, just needs to watch himself a little. McConkey having a spot more. Hey, we just started, nothing of interest so far. We've got the red ring, and that's about it. Back of Escape, Blue Mail, the map, and the red rupee. Blue Mail's nice, the rest map and the red rupee, not so much.
Yeah, the red rupee is just further money that you can't ever have too much of in the early game, but you'd still rather have something progression-wise.
I love how Shady Force's sprite changes to different mouse cursors as with different actions. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, the mouse sprite is fantastically well done. Like,
It
big
really
props
is.
to whoever did that. I don't even remember who it was.
Yep. Does not appear to have visibly changed with Blue Mail. Not too. Kind of wish it had, I don't know, turned blue or something. Map check, Crystal Eastern. I think that might have been a Crystal Hera. I did not catch Desert.
It was a red crystal Hera and a crystal desert. So 3 crystals light world today. And a ton of cash in the bonk rocks.
Well, they are comfortable on Bottle Vendor money. They have plenty for Pod, and they probably aren't too far off Zora at the rate they're going.
Yeah, don't think Zora's going to be a huge concern. At least till we see the Moon Pearl, just to make the Waterfall Cave checkable alongside it. But there's a lot of checks for that in CAC and the South Shore.
Yep, just a red ruby and lumberjack ledge, so Aga will not be required for that today.
Could still require him to get to the Dark World, but we'll know that when we see it.
Yep. Both runners checking it since it's quite a bit faster to do, and more likely to be available early when you have boots.
Right, because boots are required for that item. You can't get to it without them. So a lot of runners will put it off until they have boots. But here we are.
Yep, and they started with boots.
And then on our way into Kakariko here, McMonkey actually going out of his way to grab both the red rupees in the Lost Woods. Shady Force only grabbing the one in the tree. That's a bit more difficult to avoid. But both of them well above 400 rupees. McMonkey taking the extra tree pull there, but not what he wanted.
Yeah, just some more arrows, which they don't actually need. Speaking of that, hey, a hookshot!
Hookshot's nice, but it doesn't buy anything with what we have now.
Nope, will be necessary later, as you get a red rupee, okay, blind set, hookshot, and nothing else.
Yeah, big thing at this point. Keep an eye out for the glove or the flute from Mountain Access, because that's when the hookshot's going to pay big.
Yep. Sorry, I'm sniggering at Scoople's autocorrect in chat.
The magic of cell phones.
Yep, autocorrecting Fear to Deer instead. Thanks to Fear for organizing this whole thing and for setting up our restream particularly today. Absolutely nothing at all in the well.
And this is actually pretty impressive for Kakariko. I guess one item isn't that far below average for those two checks. Green 20, though, you won't see very many of those in this mode. We're not playing the hard item
No.
pool.
I think that's what, replacing the boots?
I believe so, yeah, because of swords.
And that's a book. Okay, Desert's looking like more of an idea at this rate.
Yeah, it can do everything in desert except kill the land molas, so that's 1 to 2 items, plus whatever's on the ledge, and easy incentive over to Agina's cave.
Yep. Nothing in the back of the bar.
Still got the library, which we can get with these starting boots, and then the race game as well, but looking rather dry compared to some Kakarikos we've seen.
Usually CAC is a lot more, yeah, as we get, ooh, Master Sword, okay, in the library. We were discussing Akka a minute ago. Akka?
Let's wait till we see a lamp. For now, though, that Master Sword pairs really nicely with that book, especially if we can get up to the Ether tablet.
Which would require us to get a glove and a lamp as we see more money on the race game.
Yeah, if we get the lamp, though, yeah, start worrying about Aghanim, but not too concerned until then.
Yeah. Still got all the checks on South Shore. We've got the eastern area, the desert area with that book. Fair few things to do.
Right. Shady Force starting at the dam here kind of signals to me that he doesn't plan to go to desert. Because normally if a runner wants to go there early, you see him start at the mini Moldorm Cave, then go to the dam, then the desert. So probably just going to see the traditional route from Shady here, through to Ice Rod Cave at least.
Probably just red mail in the dam. Okay, I guess we have both mail upgrades 10 minutes in.
Red mail is for cowards and people that can't otherwise avoid it.
I mean, they won't complain 10 minutes in with only 4 hearts, but yeah, not the item they really wanted to see, I don't think, at this point.
Yeah, because it makes death warping a total pain if you ever decide you need to do that. And with no mirror in hand, it is still an option.
And that's pretty quick mini Moldorm Cave with hookshot and sword beams for Shady, getting arrows, rupees, heart piece, and more rupees out of mini Moldorm Cave.
So I wonder, do you choose desert over the eastern area here? Both being crystals that you can't complete?
I think Eastern's got the density over Desert. Eastern has minimum 2 items available in Eastern, plus the 3 in Saha's hut. Desert doesn't have quite as much. This is a best 3 out of 5, correct?
It's best 3 out of 5, but they will not all be between these runners. These runners have their teammates, and their teammates will also play. Actually, their teammates here, we've seen Shady Force's teammates, Zelga Disson in chat, and Dr. Marty as well.
Yep.
And then for Go, I don't think we've seen them in chat, but Scruple and Vortex of Doom are McMonkey's teammates.
Scruple is in chat, I think in Vortex is as well.
Okay, hello to everybody.
If you want to find out more about the league and volunteer for commentary and or chatting, you may check out the command I stuffed in chat. Both runners setting up water walks here, or fake to go. Okay, fake flipper for Shady Force, water walk for McMonkey. That's a use of bombs on Lake Island to do these water checks. That glove, which they found in the Ice Rod Cave, does put Zora in logic, and they have all the money in the world for it with this seed.
Yeah, Shady Force had a water walk, but we see now he delayed it by getting a regular fake flipper. That way he could take the water walk to Zora and get the waterfall items in addition to the hobo check that McMonkey skipped out on. Luckily for McMonkey, that check turned out to be nothing,
Hey, hammer on Zora Ledge.
Okay, so we need flippers for that. We can sequence break it with a moon pearl if that shows up, though.
Yeah, more nothing in the waterfall fairy, and Zora gives us $20. What a scam.
But we do have that hammer info. That's pretty crucial at this point.
Yes, it is. That is a negative, 96% return? That's something stupid. On Zora.
It's not an investment. You're not getting your money back.
No, they are not.
It looks like McMonkey wants to follow that hook shot to the mountain as quickly as possible. The gloves let him get in here. Logically not supposed to navigate this old man cave that he's in without a lamp. But when there's so many items he can get to on the mountain, may as well.
Alright. Shady is sprinting back off in this direction.
I think he's looking for another water walk. Oh, he's gonna... Can you do water walk for the hammer without... Oh, I know what he's gonna get his fake flipper here. He's gonna do the same thing he did off Hobo. Get the fake flipper, swim all the way around to the ledge, use that to get his hammer. He's gonna bomb himself here to guarantee the fake flipper first try. So this is gonna be slow and awkward, and if Shady takes a hit along the way while swimming, he might cry. But
yeah.
if it goes well, never mind. If it went well, though, he was gonna get his hammer.
Yep. Nothing on Spectacle Rock, nothing in Spectacle Rock. Time for Paradox. That does feel bad for Shady Force, who is going to go off to the mountain.
Yep, so we're gonna see McMonkey head on the checks here. As Shady Force is gonna be following in his footsteps after that. And
Yep.
Paradox Cave is 7 items, most dense single location in the game. Here we go.
Is it of any use? The bug net and some bombs are not particularly helpful.
Yeah, he was on 9 bombs, so he got a partial refill.
Yeah. And up here we've got more money. There's flippers. Okay. 10 arrows. A single arrow. And a red rupee. Flippers. So, where's our Death Mountain access? Logically.
Probably in the eastern area, maybe in the desert.
Yeah. Wonder if it's gonna be the lamp or the flute. We're also still missing a moon pearl to do much of anything in the Dark World. We have access now with Hammer and Glove, we just don't have a moon pearl to do much of anything there.
Yeah, if our mountain access is the lamp, then Moon Pearl could still be on the pyramid ledge.
It could. Is
There
that a
was a
bow on
bow.
Floating Island?
That was a bow on the floating island.
That's fun. Chaz discussing how they technically could have used the red meringue and bombs to splash delete and Ansel fake flipper over to the hammer, but it is really, really difficult, and I don't blame either runner for trying that.
Yeah, like it would be interesting as a show off sort of thing, but I wouldn't want to do it in a race myself.
Yeah. And nothing in Spiral Cave, so that is a safe quit from McMonkey. Let's see where probably gonna. Okay, let's see where he goes off to. Heading right here from Link's house.
This is going to be straight to the hammer.
Okay, yeah. And then. Okay, gonna check Hobo.
Yeah, he skipped Hobo before, so he's going to loop this in now and then go straight to the hammer.
Yep, there's flippers for Shady Force.
Yeah, and I expect Shady to also go straight to his hammer once he gets Spiral Cave and gets off the mountain.
Yep. We'll get a little time back in McMonkey due to having already done Hobo, but unfortunately lost a little time trying to set up another fake flipper waterlock for a hammer. Use that bow on Floating Island.
Yep, and that bow requires another glove and a mirror and a moon pearl, so probably won't be seeing it soon. We'll almost certainly be seeing it at some point, though. I think that bow is in the way enough that even if we find the other one, it's fast enough just to pick it up before going into Ganon's tower. I think.
Yeah, I think silvers are worth it if we have the access there.
Especially if we're still on a Master Sword come that stage of the game.
Mm. Now the question is, where do the runners go after picking up their hammer? Because they don't have true Dark World access, as previously discussed. They still don't have a Moon Pearl. They've got a choice between Bowless Eastern and Lampless Desert.
Yep, because this hammer, even though they're both rushing it, it unlocks 0 new locations for them right now. Well, actually, no, I lie. They can take it back up the mountain, they can use it to get Hera and Ether Tablet. But I don't think that's a very reasonable play compared to picking one of Eastern or Desert.
The mountain's, I think, just a bit too slow for 3 checks.
Yeah, and then out of logic ones to boot.
Yeah. Like, your logic's gotta be someplace, and there's a solid chance your logic is the lamp, which would give you desert completion.
Yep. Fire Rod would as well.
Mm-hmm.
Lamp would also give Aghanim.
That's
Mushroom
true.
gives a fetch quest.
And that's an immediate save quit from McMonkey, considering a save scum for fake powder.
Yeah, I respect it, because he doesn't want to do Bowless Eastern knowing it's a crystal. Want to try to put that off, especially knowing where one of the bows is. So, take the quick save and quit. This is not a very slow turn in here, so... And you can just reset, go to Desert if it's not this.
Pretty much. Yeah. Shady Forest looks like they will be going to the front of Eastern, so this is a little bit of divergence here.
Yeah, and this is also a respectable route because at this point there aren't very many checks left. So odds are pretty high you're getting funneled into a crystal dungeon you can't clear. Eastern's 2 to 3 items depending on the layout, where Desert is only 1 to 2.
Yeah. McMonkey finding just 20 rupees off of the shroom, but is not in fact save scumming that.
Yeah,
just heading straight off the desert. Okay.
If you need the powder, it will show up, and you can just take the portal right back, but there's...
Oh, hey, Mitts!
Okay.
Okay, that's another way to potentially get Dark World access, but Moon Pearl is the missing item here.
It does open up King's Tomb. That is 1 check.
Yes, it does, since we do have boots. There's the big key.
Yeah, that's a good find there just for logical implications, puts the big chest into logic. So that potentially means that you could get all 3 items out of Eastern in logic by what the game's expecting you to do here. There's first item in Desert's only a piece of heart, so there's going to be some kind of key on the torch there.
Yep, we'll find out which. And it's a big key.
Yeah, so big key, then small key in the big chest, and then have to run all the way around to the right side and hope that it's not a map compass.
Yeah, second item in Eastern is a heart piece. Big chest, giving us the first bottle. Alright, that's that.
Yeah, does note that he doesn't have to come back to Eastern until he's got a bow, though. With that one bow that we know about being mirror locked, that's a really easy combination with Palace of Darkness when the time comes. But ultimately, with Mitts only being one item right now for King's Tomb and the bottle being a fetch quest for Sick Kid, not that much out of... Okay, there it is.
There's the lamp.
That's the mountain access. That's Aga access. That puts Desert completable for Shady Force all the way through. And it puts Hera and Ether Tablet on the table.
Yeah, it is going to turn in that shroom, and then I suspect probably will go beat Desert at this point.
Yeah, but I did not notice what McMonkey got out of the right side Desert there.
First chest was a map. I also missed the second.
I mean, he
Hera is
left.
also beatable. Yeah, we have hookshot, hammer, glove, lamp.
Okay, it was map and 20 rupees on the right side of Desert, so that's both items out of there too.
Yep.
And Nagina also junk. So Shady Force gonna go Desert here, and only really get a crystal for his trouble, and then he can go Hera afterwards.
Yep. And I've got a subtle chance of a vanilla moon pearl at this point in Hera.
Yeah, I mean, we're down, what, to 4 checks left for the Moon Pearl to be on with the items we have?
Let's see. Lumberjack, 2 in Hera.
2 in Hera, Ether Tablet,
not Lumberjack,
and...
Ether Tablet, 2 in Hera, and what is the 4th?
Pyramid Ledge.
That, thank you. I think I was mixing a Pyramid Ledge and Lumberjack for some reason, don't ask me why.
They both require you to kill Aghanim, but we know Lumberjack's junk today.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, Pyramid Ledge, Ether Tablet, and Hera are our remaining checks, which is not great.
Actually, we didn't see Shady Force run down to Sick Kid, so that's another one that we can do with the items we've seen. So that's 5.
Okay, 5, yeah.
Still though, that's getting startlingly high odds that we're going to have to kill Aghanim, even though we've got the items we need to at least get to the Dark World.
Mm-hmm.
But Hair is a crystal, so I presume we're going to see it first.
It is also that Hera plus Desert is also denser than 1 check on Pyramid Ledge.
Oh, yes, by far. Pyramid Ledge is very, very slow for 1 check, so there's really no reason not to do it last here.
Yep. Both runners just currently retracing each other's steps. Shady Force and Desert, McMonkey and Eastern.
And for chat, wanting a little bit of a recap, McMonkey picked up those mitts in the first chest of Desert, the cannonball, or first chest of Eastern, the cannonball chest. He's going to take them straight to King's Tomb, where he'll find his lamp. And unfortunately for him, he chose to go into Desert Palace before going into Eastern Palace. So he's going to have to take the backtrack to go get that Desert Crystal. The other side of that is that he also knows that's not an item, so he can put that off for as long as he wants.
Yeah, so if it turns out that, say, Meyer is a crystal, then he can just loop it in with that, or even if Meyer isn't a crystal and they just find the mirror, he can do so when doing the Meyer area checks. And there's the lamp. Yeah. Shitty is not from in the bottle, there is not an item on Landmouse, and that is correct that Aga would only be required if Moon Pearl is on or locked by Pyramid Ledge. So
we could hypothetically have a scenario where something like the flute is on the Pyramid Ledge, and then
Shovel could turn up there.
Flute in particular would only work if the mirror also showed up, but you get the idea, like a fetch quest or something that opens up more immediate locations.
Yep. Alright, second. Nope. Just a bit of love.
That's a bit unfortunate going all the way over there for that.
Yeah.
McMonkey going to actually be the first one to Hera here because he's not going for the lane Molas.
Oh yeah, I would have been more surprised if he had sprinted all the way back there. It's a long way. And for nothing other than a crystal.
Yeah, and Hera's the 5/6 crystal here, so you don't even get that sort of benefit from clearing desert.
Yep.
Also, we're kind of seeing it on Shady Force's side here, but the weapon loadout we've got kind of sucks for killing lane molas. Hammer
Yeah,
or
it's
sword.
Master Sword Hammer is not the best. So there we go.
Yeah, it wasn't ever really dangerous for Shady Force. Pretty sure he's still got his berry in the bottle, but definitely tricky.
Oh, hey, I see you've got a prediction as to whether or not Aga is logically required. I mean, we'll find out here pretty soon, depending on if there's anything at all here. $50 ain't it?
Nope. So it's either inside the Tower of Hera or we're going to Aghanim. And remember, we're not. It's not just the Moon Pearl. Like we could find fetch quests, stuff that opens up more potential locations here. Which
Yeah.
actually
Oh
we're
no. Oh,
starting to
there
run
it
out of.
is. There it is. First check of Hera, French vanilla.
Yep. Rest in peace, that prediction.
Yep. And the small key, so the basement's logically required. Yay!
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna see Harapot here. No reason to sit through that basement for now. Because you can
Yeah.
just clip into the pot here, find yourself upstairs with no big key.
Unfortunately, Big Funky is having a bit of a hard time here. And decides to just use the bomb, and there we go. Nicely done on that try. Spin Seed just wasn't working there.
Yeah, in theory, the super speed setup is the fastest one since you don't have to wait for a bomb, but it is more difficult. The bomb one has pixel setups that are a little less finicky in my experience.
There's Shady Force getting that $50 off the Ether tablet, and that was a map in the compass chest of Hera, so we're hoping that here that Moldorm has the second item. Otherwise, they might be looking at that basement. And there we go. Nice Moldorm fight.
Yep, 3 spins dispatches them quickly, a bit safer than the hammer too, and there's the item.
Alright. So, time for the Dark World. You have all the access they could want for it, with both Hammer and Mint.
I'm kind of wondering if either of them's going to go for the Dark Mountain since they're already up here, knowing that that bow is on the floating island and they can't get it yet.
I mean, they can do Super Bunny Cave. They can do the first check of Hookshot Cave. They
We
can
can
look
do
at
all
the
of
TR
Hookshot Cave.
Medallion. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, we can't do all of Hookshot Cave. I forgot we had the Hookshot. Whoopsies on Shady Force forgetting you don't have the big key. That's in the basement. Yeah, this could have also going to TR Medallion's also really good info. So yeah, this makes sense. So just go straight to Dark Death Mountain. Don't tend to see this too often.
No, but you don't tend to get the Moon Pearl last and then get it on the mountain with the mitts already in hand, and that's Quake.
Yep, Red Crystal Pod, Pendants on Skullwoods and TR. Right. Green Pendant was Swamp?
Green Pendant was Swamp,
Ouch.
yep.
Mostly because I saw everything else but Swamp, and it wasn't Green Pendant, so... Youch on Trolldor being a troll for Shady Force.
Yeah, if Bombo shows up, we could have a no fire rod seat on our hands here.
Yep. Super Bunny! 10 arrows and
Yeah.
never mind!
Yeah, go figure, huh?
Hey, just as you said it, there's a fire rod. Yeah, mirror might not be required.
Yeah, we will need to find a bow somewhere for the mirror to not be required, though.
Yeah, well, there's a heart container, a heart piece. The Temperance Sword is a nice find, and half magic. You'll take that.
Oh yeah, always take that with a fire rod in hand.
Yep.
And Shady Force making the exact same play, just going for the quick efficiency of these 6 checks, so he's not going to miss out on any of that good stuff either.
Yeah, but this seed, other than that Moon Pearl placement's been really generous. They are at tempered, all the Dark World axes they could want. They've got Lamb, Hookshot, Boot. Of course, they start with boots, flippers. Like, they've got a lot of stuff at this point. Castle Tower Cold Worm requires either the Fighter Sword or the Master Sword or the Cape to break the barrier protecting the tower, and then a lamp to get through the brooms. Yeah, logic does account for the starting sword, correct. There's Quake, which
Yeah,
probably
we
not the
could.
most.
No, we couldn't. We're missing the cane to die Turtle Rock.
Yeah, although not necessarily they want to see, depending on what the Meteor Medallion is.
Yeah, Meyer Medallion could be anything at this point, just until we
Yep.
get the flute and go see it.
And who knows where that flute is at this point. Well, should be vanilla. Nope, Bloomerang.
Yeah, I'm looking though. At this point, we're missing the cane, we're missing the flute, we're missing either the mirror or the second bow. Take your pick, and then potentially a Meyer Medallion. So
Yeah,
at most 4 items still to find this seed.
that's not bad.
Yeah, for 34, 35 minutes in, damn good.
Also, a very nice dig game. Only 2 digs, getting you some bombs.
Yeah, it would have been nicer if it were a real item, but that's how it is. You didn't have to stick around long for it.
Yeah, you didn't have to spend ages. You didn't have to do 29 digs for Red Rupee, for instance. Those always suck.
Nah, but if you had done that, you at least probably would have gotten your money back. So, time, money, what's the difference?
Alright, Hammer Picks time. And then we'll probably see the Skullwoods and Thieves Town right here. No real reason why not to do those 2 dungeons right now. We've got all the items for them.
Yeah, I could see skipping Skull Woods on account of it being a crystal, or I mean, it being a pendant. But Thieves
Oh
Town,
yeah,
we're definitely
true.
going to see.
Forgot
'Cause
that
it's,
Skullwoods is dependent. But yeah,
yeah.
Thieves Town, you definitely go there. I think I'm gonna do the village checks first, which makes sense.
Yeah, the big problem with Thieves Town is that there is no concept of go moding it really, because you have to go pick up the maiden anyways. So
Yep,
you just do it as soon as possible in most cases.
pretty much. Ether in the brewery decreases the chance of needing to find a medallion for Meyer. And the
Yeah,
C-shaped house gives us the powder. Okay.
yeah. Well, with no mirror, we can't immediately check that anyways. So McMonkey gonna have to come back to the village regardless for that.
Yeah, I wonder if he might pick up the smith after finishing up Thieves, depending on whether or not he finds anything in there. Because the chess game is more money.
Yeah, I half expect, especially with powder in hand, pick up the thief and then just, or not the thief, but the smith, and then
Smith.
immediately save and quit instead of going
Yeah,
to Skull Woods.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is to get the thief. There is you have me saying it too now. Thanks. The smith, and then do that and powder at the same time as you get the cane of Samaria in the front of thieves.
I mean, look, the maiden's a thief, and we're gonna be picking her up. So
Yeah, cane of Samaria giving us TR access, and
yeah, we can do everything in Turtle Rock now except kill Trinex, which
uh,
it's pendant anyways.
yeah, just a big key. All right, and bombos. Okay, well, that's not an issue.
Yep, got all the medallions. So we're just missing the flute and then either a bow, which we know where one is, and it is behind the mirror.
Yeah.
So flute plus one of those 2 items, and we're in go mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are going to go do ice soon, correct? Since that is a crystal, but they can't actually finish. Bootless Pod, not the most appealing idea ever. They've already seen the items in Desert and Eastern. Caneless Mire he can't get into without a flute. So yeah, Ice Palace is the next thing.
Yeah, see there.
Zelazon, we might need the mirror for a bow on Floating Island is our problem.
Right. We've seen one bow, it's on Floating Island. We have not seen the other bow, so that's why that's a one or the other situation.
Yep.
But yeah, with the situation these runners are in right now, I do think it's definitely either Ice Palace or continuing the overworld train with the Smith like we were talking about earlier. Take your
Yep.
pick.
Okay, chat. Yes, Reg. There is some very loud
Yeah,
engine noises
I
in your background.
I think it's gone. I can't do anything about that though. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, right now. Chat's just finding it funny and making a joke or three. There's a small key in the blind cell.
It wasn't in the front, so it had to either be in the cell or in the big chest. So there it
Yep.
is.
Gotta go fast indeed on your end, apparently. You're all good there. Just commenting.
Look, if you're not going fast, what are you even doing?
That's true. We are doing speedruns after all. Rando speedruns, but speedruns all the same. And McMonkey is playing as Guy Fieri, TV show star from the Food Network. Known for being a really, really over the top and enthusiastic, runs the show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And I'm pretty sure you can tell what the Shady Force is sprite. It is quite fun, though. Yeah, Guy Fieri is a little orange for my taste, I think, but that is Impact Guy Fieri. Just $50 off blind. Thieves Town was a bust, but that is McMonkey's second crystal.
I mean, you say it was a bust. We pulled a cane and a medallion out of it.
Oh wait, never mind. It is not the back of. Okay, back of Thieves was a bust. Front was nice.
Yeah, front was
That's
great. Back had a crystal. Good dungeon overall. That's why you do it as soon as possible.
Yep. And that's a safe quit for McMonkey. Yep, safe quitting to Link's house. This is probably going to be a nice Palace play.
Yep, and you can just take that with the cane of Samaria, and you can full clear it very quickly compared to some of the classic routes.
Yep. Yeah, they're actually quite close right now. Shady Force, I think, making up a little time in the village in Thieves Town, and also does have the desert clear up on McMonkey. How much of that matters? It probably is going to depend ultimately on where that mirror shows up and whether or not McMonkey can do Desert and Mire at the same time.
Being able to do Desert Mire at the same time would probably put them at best on par, I think, because back at Desert, it's not slow by any means, but it is still several rooms.
It is, so McMonkey might be able to save some time having some better weaponry. Very nice pen gator room, getting just a compass.
Yeah, he may be able to have a real nice Smolderm fight with that Fire Rod and the Tempered Sword compared to Shady Force's hammer.
You mean Landmos?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Words, names, hard.
It's okay, we both goofed today. Shady Force is not going to head for ice just yet. This will be a bumper ledge check.
Yeah, this is information, and if it does turn out to be Flute Mirror Bow, then suddenly a really big deal. That's
a shovel. That exists.
It exists, and if we see the cape, Shady Force might go back to it.
Hmm. I'm just gonna dip the front of Skull Woods to see if you can't find an item in here.
Yeah, some runners are really fond of front of Skull Woods in pretty much every circumstance. Some runners aren't. Just
Yeah,
pick your poison.
to some it feels kind of more like an overworld check just because it's fairly quick. Ice Palace has been a snooze for McMonkey. But on the
Yeah, I
other
think
hand, there's also a chance that the items just happen to be in the back, which takes a while to get to.
the big thing about checking Skull Woods here for Shady Force is that he can just save and quit out of it. He has nowhere else really to go.
And there's another bow in the freezer chest of ice.
Okay, so McMonkey in really good shape. Just needs to find
That's a
that flute. And that lets him go fully clear pod.
yeah, that's a really good find. Her container is not something Shady wanted to find. So we're a flute from Go mode.
Yeah, and the big thing, if that mirror doesn't show up, McMonkey's going to be forced to take the long way to the back of desert to go kill Lambos, which he could not do earlier because he did not have the lamp when he was there the first time.
Yeah. I think McMonkey may have seen all the items in ice, by the way, is why he skipped Big Chest. I was not counting.
I'm pretty sure we saw them all, but yeah.
I know he definitely got a heart container and obviously that bow. I'm not quite remembering what the third item in here is. Compass was the first check. Okay, there was a green rupee was the third item, so yeah, that's all three nice. Doesn't need to worry about iced tea or Biggie. Or any of the other checks, yeah. So that's pretty nice.
Very good layout to full clear the dungeon with Icebreaker. Skip the checks that are still slow even with that trick, and just be about your way.
Yep. Alright. Eastern and Pod here. Gonna do Eastern, then go into Pod. Since you don't have a mirror.
Yeah, with no mirror, you'd have to save and quit, and you lose any sort of semblance of doing these dungeons together if you do pod first. On the
Yep.
other hand, if you do pod first, you have the possibility of finding the mirror in there, but that's a gamble at best.
Yep. I mean, it makes sense either way. It's just take your pick.
Yeah. I guess chat's raising a good point that if you just wait for the flute, you can just flute to 5 again when you find it and go. You don't have to do Eastern now. But I don't think that comes out super strongly ahead. It might be
No,
slightly better, but the big thing is I've both seen and run races before where you do something like that, then you just never go back for the Eastern Crystal, and then why can't I get into GT?
yep, that's happened as well, where you just completely and totally forget about it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, like, invitational runners very, very good, very unlikely to do that, but it's hypothetically something.
Unfortunately, Shady Force is going to lose a little time to McMonkey here, getting just a big head of iced tea since we know where the third item is and it's freezers. This iced tea is slow to get to.
Yeah, it's not completely terrible to do it the way he did it, but it's probably still the slowest check in the dungeon.
I think so, yeah. Very nice Armos Knight's kill, and that's another crystal here for McMonkey.
Yeah, and there's Shady getting his bow and just rejecting the big chest afterwards.
Yeah, no need to, since he wasn't counting items and knew so that was his third.
Yeah, and McMonkey gonna go back down to the Dark World portal now and do pod.
Yep.
half magic there, making relatively quick work of Cold Stare, even though he got out of the corner. But that's Shady Force's fourth crystal, tying the count up. But he hasn't even finished Eastern yet, like McMonkey has. But McMonkey hasn't done Desert that he's done either, so 4 different crystals.
Yep. So, what's going to be in pod?
I mean, the flute, right? Because we don't want to go to Turtle Rock.
The runners want to see a flute, yes? What do we want to see as viewers here?
Well, if you want to see them go to Turtle Rock, you want to see absolutely nothing here. If you want to see them go to Swamp, you want to see either the mirror or still absolutely nothing. Take your pick.
Pet has not been checked.
Yeah, it could hypothetically be Ped. We're just a mirror away from, well, a mirror and an eye shot away from that being fully available.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to see real chaos, and or you're a big fan of Shady Force, you want to see the cape and nothing else in here.
Oh, that would be entertaining. Does it get a small key?
Yeah, the unfortunate side of that, from the bigger picture of the race, is that Shady Force is the only one that knows about that shovel on the bumper ledge.
Mm-hmm. It would definitely spice it up.
Yeah, it's
Vicky
just...
Chance is the map. Womp womp.
If the cape turned out to be the answer, big odds that we see McMonkey follow the Turtle Rock rabbit hole to absolutely nothing. And that would not be the most exciting thing in the world.
No.
Let's see, we've seen, what, 2 keys and a map so far in Pod?
Correct.
So I think these are both going to be keys.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Oh,
well, okay,
no.
never mind.
We saw
Miscounted,
an
it was
extra
one other
key,
key.
yeah.
Ice Rod on pod right side. Speaking of TR...
That's how it goes. So Mario block there extends McMonkey's dash a little bit, lets him get up those stairs without flipping the block. Fun little trick.
Yeah, TR looking like more and more of an idea now, which is kind of concerning. Finding a small key and a small key. That's all the keys in Compass in the U room.
Yep. And we've only seen 1 item so far. Okay,
Correct.
2 items. We have not seen the big key yet, though.
No, we haven't. It's
There
right
it
there.
is. Okay, so 3 items and a compass to be found between the Dark Maze and the boss.
Yep.
And that's all the incentive we need to go kill Helmasaur, as if the crystal wasn't enough. Yeah, unfortunately having to Death Warp. Everything here does fix 1 damage, which means the red mail doesn't actually inhibit that, but he still had his fairy.
Oh, that feels bad.
Yeah, so he's just gonna keep standing on fire and Kadangas until he runs out of hearts.
Yep, there we go.
And Shady Force is going to give us Hammer Jump here. He's still going to check all 3 chests, and then we'll see if he takes the Death Warp or if he just walks out or what he does. I think the Death Warp's still going to be the fastest way.
I think so.
Yeah, we see Shady Force already going out of his way to start setting up that Death Warp well before he picks up this compass. And there's his Death Warp, having ditched the ferry long ago.
Yeah, so far just a nice run in pod, looking more and more like TR is gonna be the next idea.
I mean, what else are we going to do? There's no items left in Skull Woods. We can't get into Swamp. Pyramid
We've got
Ferry?
various couple of absolutely terrible overall checks. Let's see. Pyramid Fairy exists. We have Catfish, Smith Chain, Magic Bat.
Yeah.
Did I mention these overall checks kind of suck?
Yeah. I think we're looking at Turtle Rock.
Yeah,
But going to Turtle Rock here risks orphaning Mimic Cave, which would also really suck.
Yeah, is the unfortunate thing. And Helmet giving us Butter Sword. Okay, nice, but really not what you want at this point.
I mean, if you're gonna kill Trinex and you can do the 0 cycle, that saves you like 3 seconds.
I suppose. Not really what you want to find at this point, considering you're currently hoping to not do TR. This is gonna be a Pyramid Fairy check for McMonkey.
Yeah, it could be Catfish instead, but he probably would want to do actually both.
Yeah, chain Pyramid Fairy into Catfish.
Also, I don't think we've seen the Pyramid Ledge yet either.
No, we have not.
Yeah, actually, that's 4 checks right there. That's kind of reasonable, especially considering, like I said earlier, if you go to Turtle Rock now, you orphan Mimic Cave, but McMonkey just going Ledge to Catfish, skipping the ferry.
Okay. I guess it does take a little time to run all the way to the bomb shop and back. And that's just a shield on the Pyramid Ledge. Shady Force is gonna just save quit, which it will be faster for Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, so he's gonna get the 2 extra checks in there.
Yep.
And coming up on Catfish here, you'll throw something in the circle of stones, annoy whoever lives in it, and the Catfish causes an earthquake. Very classic Japanese legends.
Yep. And Catfish is just a hurt piece.
Okay, and it looks like McMonkey gonna do the Pyramid Fairy now.
Yeah, you're gonna take a minor time loss here by having to run over twice. Yeah, I don't know why he skipped it in the first place, but okay. Alright, 2 checks here. Bombs and $100. Nope.
So Shady Force gonna head on up to Catfish himself, and then I've got to assume Turtle Rock, because where else at this point?
Yeah, Smith Chain really sucks without a mirror. We
Yeah,
have
the
seen in front of
only
Skullwoods Miss Shady Forest that had a heart container, and that was about it.
yeah. The only upside to Smith Chain at this point is that you can combine turning in the Smith with the Magic Pat check. That's
Yeah.
pretty low upside.
Yeah, it's still incredibly slow.
And Shady Force showing that if you're going to do the Pyramid Fairy check, combine it. That's efficiency. Where's he going, though? Is this going to be the Smith and the Magic Bat?
That's a good question. Because if this was a mountain play, he would have just saved quit to the mountain.
Which is exactly what we're seeing on McMonkey's side here.
McMonkey is playing as Guy Fieri, the TV personality. Oh yeah, Sick Kid was a thing.
Yeah, McMonkey did this ages ago, but Shady Force put it off until right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that makes this chain of checks a little bit more appealing.
He is putting off the Smith, though, not combining it in with this, which it would be another save and quit if he did.
Yeah. Perhaps just getting these two quick checks before heading up the mountain. Yeah, Shady does have powder, it just needs to be marked on the tracker. That's just some bombs.
Yeah, Powder was, what, in Thievestown, I think? Oh, C-shaped house? Close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, Shady did it after Thieves Town, which might have been the confusion there.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Yep. And with that, happy 1 hour, everyone.
Yep, cross the hour mark, no go mode in sight. As soon as we pull a flute, we can just save and quit, though.
Mm-hmm. And then TR time.
Yeah, this is like the top of the you don't ever want to have to do it list. Because it's a very long, linear, practically an auto-scroller of a dungeon in a lot of rooms with these rails and the pipes.
Yeah. Once you know how to get around these rooms, it's all the same every time. Chat debating the idea of buying a potion on the way to Super Bunny Cave to do Spike Cave after TR. And debating where you could buy a potion. Well, never mind buying a potion. There is a potion in the Fire Out 5 checks of TR.
Yeah, if that potion wasn't found, honestly, I'm not sure that 8 hearts is enough, even with a red potion, to brute force it.
Yeah,
I guess it
I'm not sure.
probably is 16 total, but that would be real sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah, there are apparently is at least one shop on Dark Death Mountain that sells red potions, but the other thing is that would require the runners to remember there's a shop up here that sells potions, which is finicky at
Yeah, it's
times.
like right next to Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and chat's right, you can't use up all 8 of your first set of hearts. Can't use up all 8 of your second one either, so you'd have at most 14 hearts to play with.
Yep.
And I think that's like the absolute bare minimum you have to play perfectly limit.
Mm-hmm. And we are not in go mode, we are missing a flute 2-axis Crystal Mire, which is why they're currently in Pendant TR. They don't have a lot else to do.
Yep. Yeah, Shady Force, his some Mario platforms stopped at that little question mark shape, and he knocked himself off. And there's another bottle on McMonkey's side.
Lovely. I have no idea what the bunny sprite of Guy Fieri is. I'm actually curious what the bunny sprite is for the mouse cursor.
I don't remember for sure what the mouse cursor sprite is, but I'm pretty sure I remember what it is, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty great.
Well, it's a great sprite, so I'd assume so. Okay, with mail upgrades according to chat, it might be a little, and hookshot, it might be easier with just effective 14 hearts in Spike Cave.
Yeah, and chat's confirming that, yeah, this bunny sprite is what I thought it was. Okay.
That is very
McMonkey's in go
nice.
mode.
And yep, there we go. Flute in the big chest of TR. Nice.
So McMonkey has to go activate it, finish Mire, finish Desert. Probably in the other order, actually.
Yeah, it is a little unfortunate for McMonkey that he did not find that mirror to make that return to Desert a little easier. So they're actually very close. Might honestly be the Desert Indifference at this point.
Yeah, Shady still has to do Eastern, though. So I think that counterbalances out McMonkey going to have to make the entire run through Desert.
Yeah. And Eastern is good. Eastern is really, really slow to run through.
Yeah, so actually I think McMonkey probably a bit of an advantage here. Not a huge one, but a bit of one for sure.
Yeah, slightly ahead getting to Flute, and Desert is also a little faster than Eastern. I honestly forgot that Shady didn't do Eastern just before or after Pod.
Yeah, he decided to put it off until he had the Flute, which here we are.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is going back to what I was saying earlier in the race. Like Desert Palace, especially the back of it, it's not particularly slow, but it is a deceptively large number of rooms. Plus, gonna have to wait to watch the wall move in a couple rooms here.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, actually, the back of Eastern behind the big key or behind the big key door is also more rooms than it sometimes feels like when you're not actually playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, McMonkey definitely ahead here. Like, we've seen Shady Force get time advantages when they've both been in the same place at the same time. But McMonkey has just straight up done fewer things, and that's where he's gotten his advantages here.
Mm-hmm. And Chan debating whether it'd be worth to check Mire Shed for a mirror. I don't think it's for Silver's with Butter Sword, Red Mail. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, like the idea I think is more McMonkey gambling on finding mirror in the Mire area so that he doesn't have to walk through the front of Desert.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you find that, then yeah, that saves time. But the odds of finding that, pretty slim. I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, it's probably there's a really good chance Mirror's just sitting in GT.
Yeah, and then with the gold sword in hand, Silverless Ganon, as long as you're not on Master Sword, really not a big deal for either of these runners, so...
Nope. And that's the crystal off of Eastern for Shady Force.
Yep. But McMonkey is in Mire 2 here, and Shady Force still has to get into the dungeon. See, I think this is probably, what, 45-ish seconds or so for McMonkey, not having been actually checking the numbers.
Yep. And first item Mire is another shield. Okay.
Yep, skip Baby Shield on Pyramid Ledge, get rewarded with Baby Shield in Mire.
Yep. Now, where's the big key becomes the question here. Not that.
Yeah, check the fire lock chest next. If it's a small key, then we know the big key's vanilla. Otherwise, we put off the cutscene vanilla big key chest for as long as possible.
Yeah, that one is really slow. And that's a vanilla compass.
Yep, so it is still possible for the big key to be vanilla, but key logic in this dungeon, the only real quirk of it is that if there is a small key on that fire lock side, the big key also has to be there, because otherwise it would be possible to key lock yourself.
Nice rail clip. According to Homemade Beer, they are 57 seconds apart, leaving the Mire lobby. Thank you.
Yep.
And there's the big key.
Yep, right side there. And Shady Force about, yep, got the news there. We'll see if he does the same door state extension to clip through that rail and get to the right side a little bit faster. Well, I guess he's got to do the lobby chest first. Then we'll see if he goes for it after that.
Yep. McMonkey carrying the Samaria block through and then chucking it at the switch. That works, I guess.
Yeah, throwing the block at the switch you normally see done when runners are doing that room in the dark because it's fairly consistent. And yeah, we see throughout the past few rooms spooky action using the fire rod, displacing the splash damage to hit the switch without it even being on screen. And McMonkey has exactly 8 arrows left to enter Ganon's tower with. Shady Force arrow count gonna be a little bit sketchy if he uses arrows to take out Phase 2 Vitreous.
Yeah.
But that is 7 crystals for McMonkey. He's gonna be on his way to Ganon's tower here. And I guess while he makes his way up there, chat is putting numbers, they're guessing where the big key is going to be, because that is the last big point to find this seed.
Yep. My guess is 14. What is yours today?
Mine is always 10.
Alright. But yep, there are 22 checks in the basement of Ganon's tower, 1 torch and 21 chests. Put our guess in between 1 and 22. Where is that big key?
Then while McMonkey makes his way over there, Shady Force is fresh out of arrows, which you'd never want to be in that situation entering Ganon's tower. Because once you start going upstairs, there are some mimics that you can only kill with a bow.
Yeah. "52 seconds apart, leaving Meyer, but the Shady Force is going to have to find some arrows from somewhere."
Yeah, there are a couple of tricks you can do to clip the mimics out of bounds, and the game considers that equivalent to killing them.
Hmm.
And chat is saying that Shady Force gained 5 seconds in Mystery Mire.
Yep.
And debate on the routes to get to the top of the mountain. The generally accepted speed is using the Turtle Rock portal is fastest if it's opened, but if you get dead rocked, it becomes slower.
Yep. Checks number 1 and 2 are not the big key or a small key, so off to the left.
Yeah. McMonkey did add 2 hearts to his total in that room, though.
There is that.
And that's picking up an 11th right there.
Alright, 4, 5, 6, and 7, all useless other than a key.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of this damage that McMonkey's taking is intentional here. Like, that didn't look intentional, unfortunately, but once you find the big key, we don't have the mirror, so a death warp probably going to be the order of the day.
Most likely. Check number 8 on Firebar was also not it. Fire Stake will be number 9. Which also isn't it.
Yep. So next up is 10 through 13 in the junk randomizer room. I'm not sure how many people actually know this room exists in vanilla because it is literally just junk refill room, bombs and arrows.
Yep. Shady Force did manage to pick up 5 arrows in one of the chests, which is nice. 10, 11, 12 is the cape, 13 is the red rupee. Okay.
Which means now we're on to the so-called Bob chest. Named for the glitched anti-fairy in the room.
Indeed.
Also, chat bringing up Shady Force skipped the chest that had a small key in it, and I'm trying to figure out where.
Dark Magician?
No, he was in that room and got all 4 chests.
A torch?
Torch was a heart container.
No.
The Hope room was also hearts.
Did he manage to skip the Firebar room? I'm not sure either.
Firebar room is behind a small key, so he wouldn't be one behind if that was it. He skipped it. Okay, chat's saying he skipped the chest in Stalfos room. Okay.
Hop
That's
left.
unfortunate for him.
14 was dead, by the way. 15 is a hurt piece. 16 is $300. 17 is the big key.
Okay, so that's actually a fairly nice location, all considered, because it means you don't have to worry much about death warping. You can just come here.
Yep, and homemade beer, by the way, wins with a guess of 17.
Congratulations. We also had a channel point prediction going on, which the right side and back versus the left side, and the minority won. About twice as many points put on the left side as there were right side and back.
I'll be honest, I forget that ice armors just lead straight back to the torch rooms there.
Yeah, because if you're speedrunning it, you use the mirror. If you're playing casually, who does that?
Yep.
But casually, yeah, that's what it... Oh, wow. Shady pulled the mirror. Saved like a second here.
Well, that
I'm not
answers
even
the
sure he
question of where
saved it.
that went.
Yeah, I'm not even sure he saved any time at all.
No, because he paused there for a good couple seconds.
Oh, no. He paused because he was considering his small key count.
Ah.
He's gambling on there not being a small key in the compass room to screw him over.
You don't get silvers. By the way, that's way too much of a detour.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, especially
Shady doesn't
these
even have
runners.
arrows for it. He has barely enough to get through these mimics. Does he have enough to get... There we go, yeah. Barely enough to get through these mimics.
Yep, but while he's doing that, McMonkey, last room of the gauntlet, or second to last room, coming up on the end of the gauntlet here in the Lambo 2 refight.
JD skipped a key in the top left chest of Dark Magician. We're not sure why. He just did.
Chat's done the math and decided that there has to be a key on the climb, even in the worst case, so...
We'll be okay.
Shady Force will be okay. Now McMonkey has got torches 1 lit. Shady Force did not get the 1 cycle land mode 2 here. Got it very quick on the 2nd cycle though.
Yep.
And there's many Helmosaurs giving McMonkey just the slightest bit of trouble there, ignoring his sword swings for the first couple hits till he could get around to the side. And with the gold sword, 1 spin, 1 slash. Actually, I think with Tempered Sword, that does the same.
Mm-hmm. In any case, that's Moldrum 2 down.
Yep, and McMonkey, clear lead here as long as he plays clean.
Mm-hmm. Alright, time for some agonometry.
You want to talk about playing clean?
I think that was
the only thing keeping the 2 cycle away there was the blue ball. Oh no, I lie. I guess one of those must not have counted.
Yeah, I think it was a... There we go. I think 2211? Either that or 1311.
Must have been.
Yeah, that 2211 I think is what it was.
Yeah, I thought the first one was a triple, but it must have just been a double.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a triple or a double on McMonkey's side. Yeah, McMonkey's gotta be stressed knowing that Shady Force has gotta be close.
Yep. But He is ahead, so as long as this Ganon fight's clean, he's got it.
I think it was a double into a single for Shady Force. And another double.
Almost into a triple there. But yeah, not saving any time on the Aga2 fight. McMonkey
2
on
1
to
2
phase
1.
again. And then a hit here. Did you find the arrows on Death Mountain?
Did you find the arrows at Death Mountain? Well, I saw them, did not get them.
Yeah, Mirror being in Ganon's Tower will do that.
Yep. Just not worth it. If they had only been on Master Sword, and they'd gotten the mirror from the big chest, it might have been worth it, but not otherwise.
Nah, it wouldn't have been worth it even then, I don't think. Too far of a walk. You'd lose easily like 90 seconds to that.
Yeah, that's true. Got a nice torch glitch from McMonkey.
And that's Ganon down. Just gotta cross that bridge.
Cross the bridge and take game 1 here for Team Go in the playoffs here with an official time of 1:24:46. GG's.
Yep, big GG's and congratulations.
And hello, McMonkey. GG's.
Hi there, thank you.
Yeah. We do have Shady on last phase of his Ganon fight here, so gonna give it just a sec.
Here
Let
we go.
that finish up, let him cross the bridge as well, and then we'll start talking through things.
Yeah, this was a very close race here. Shady about to cross the bridge and finish up the seed with an official race time.gg time of 1:25:41. GG's. Only a 55-second difference there between you guys. Really close race.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it must have been pretty close. I wasn't looking at race time once I went into GT. I didn't want to have the stress of constantly looking over or seeing him finish. So I had no idea until I finished Ganon that that I was still had a chance to win, but I knew he couldn't be far behind.
Yeah. And speaking of, hey Shady Force, GG's.
Yo, how's it going? GG, McMonkey. Well done.
Hey, GG Shady, thanks. Yeah, I think Dr. Marty probably has it summed up pretty well. Chat was probably much better.
I'm sure they were. I look forward to watching it back.
Chat was having a bit of fun towards like the mid-late game with that flute hunt.
Yeah, it's hard to feel good about this seed given the number of mountain trips required. Like I'll have to on the rewatch think about a little bit more. I probably could have saved one of the mountain trips, but it was I think going out of logic the first time cost me an extra mountain trip that I could have saved. But man, this seed just sent you up and down the mountain, and anytime it does it that many times, it just feels really slow, even if it's not.
Yeah, you had to go up there once for the moon pearl. You had to go up there to get those, to get
once
that
for the
flute, and then
flippers
once
to get the hammer, and then take the hammer back to get the moon pearl, and then come back again later for Turtle Rock.
and then once
to get the hammer.
For GT.
I tried to get the hammer before the climb, but I I forgot one key element in that little boot setup.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, I think you could have gotten it if you just swam the entire way, but that would have been really awkward.
I didn't. I realized that as I was getting there, but I didn't really fancy doing that. I thought I'd just better leave and not risk dying somewhere on that screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always sketchy with a fake flipper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching the end there about that small key. That was quite funny because I was getting very confused. I didn't think I could have such a low key count, so I went to open the GT big chest to looking for a small key, and it was quite funny finding the mirror there. I think that let me mirror out. But I know
Yeah.
exactly why I skipped that chest, and it's because I was so focused on the arrow count, and I knew that the Stalfos were in the arrow pack, so I was like, I'm going to kill these Stalfos, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to get the pickup. And it's like, oh, I didn't drop anything, walk out, and I just walked out, right? And I even lost a whole bunch of time in ice armors because I just couldn't get enough arrows together.
Oh yeah, you ended up using fire rod strats for that.
And in hindsight, even though I didn't have full health, I should have done Meyer first and then Eastern, because then I would have had at least 10, 11 arrows going into GT. That would have actually saved me about half a minute on its own. So even though it doesn't seem like a big deal, actually that's a huge mistake doing it that way around. Or I could have just farmed Stalfos a little bit longer. So, and also the fake flipper thing. So I played very badly this season. You know, McMonkey deserved to win. I definitely didn't deserve anything from this race, no matter how it went before that.
I mean, you played pretty well. This race is close for quite a while. You guys rather pretty similarly in the early game overall. McMonkey, by the way, the mirror ended up on GT Big Chest.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching the restream once I finished, waiting for the delay to catch up. That's hilarious. That A, it was there, and B, that Tam called it out. You know, called me out for skipping that big chest because the mirror was there. So that was fantastic.
Was I the only one to dip Skullwoods? Is that what people in chat are
Yes.
saying?
Yeah, you were the only one to do Skull Woods. You were the only one to do the bat check, and a couple others that I'm not remembering off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Kind of-
Bumper ledge for that shovel.
I don't mind Sick Kid to the Magic Bat, but I'm not sure I like my dipping of Skullwoods there. I should just go straight to Ice Palace. It's a crystal I can get back if I want to go into Skullwoods. I only got one of the
Yeah.
items as well. In hindsight, I don't like that decision either. I feel like I should have left it. Otherwise, it's kind of a bit of a linear seed in the end, even though it kind of feels bad. There's an obvious time when you should go to Turtle Rock as well, and I think probably we both did it around the same time.
You guys did.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't checked Skullwoods, so I had Skullwoods and Smith chained for 5 items. That would be much slower than the TR5. So you know, that was a pretty easy coin flip to go up to TR
Smith
instead.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. Without the mirror, forget it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I goofed on the big bomb. You know, I left pod, and in my mind, I was okay. I'm going to do pyramid and catfish, so I don't orphan them. And got all the way to pyramid before I realized, oh no, I've got the big bomb after finishing pod. So lost some time double dipping. I probably should have just left the big bomb and gone right to TR at that point. That it's not going to be any slower to go back for big bomb, and maybe I can just skip it and not lose the time of doing the double dip. That was the right play there. But just realizing that I made that mistake, I just immediately corrected it and threw away some time going to the pyramid again.
Yeah, that felt a little bad. We were wondering what you were doing with that.
Anyway, the important thing is that before the race, I was told that throwing this race is the best way to maximize the chance for a game 5. So I'm just saying I'm happy to play my part. And now we need the other dudes to cooperate. We want it to be 2 games each, and we want this game 5 to happen. So, Zelga, Marty, Vortex, Scoopel, if you guys are watching, you know what to do.
Absolutely. Game 5 will be fantastic.
It'll be so funny. I don't care if I'm playing or watching. It's going to be hilarious.
Oh goodness, co-op retrofits is going to be such a thing to watch.
Yeah, and speaking of future games in this series, I only see Zelda vs. Scoopel on the schedule for Wednesday. So I guess Marty vs. Vortex not scheduled yet?
Yeah, that's a good
look like
question.
it.
We should ask them there in chat. Guys, can you get on it?
Yeah, they were even, at the time I'm saying this, the last 2 to say anything in chat. Marty, Vortex, when?
They say they're
looking
working
forward
on
to
it.
But
Zoom.
Thanks everybody for the restream. Thanks for comms and all. I'm excited to watch this one back.
Yeah, GG's guys. Good race here. Pretty close. Just little divergences here and there that ended up being the difference in the race.
yeah, when you've got something this close, there's a lot of things you can point to. But that's how races are. I guess looking over the schedule for the rest of the night, we've only got 2 more races on the schedule, it looks like. Relkin versus Asger and JP versus Obscure, both starting at 10:10 p.m. Eastern, which is about 3.5 hours from now. So check out both of those. I don't know. Should both be good.
Yeah. And I'll have more more matches tomorrow, as well as over for the Open League, which is now their second, which is now wrapping up their playoffs, division finals. Let's see. Also, give our runners here a follow. Shady Force and McMonkey. Shoutouts to my co-com Reg and to our tracker Lady Laura Linda, as well as to everyone in chat for watching. That will be it for us, I believe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Yep. And again, just big shout out to the runners, especially because there is no show without the race, and there is no race without the runners. So we'll see you guys some other race.